I've started looking at ads for roommates, but most of them want someone older or with a full-time job. I've even considered sleeping in my car for a while, but I don't know if that's safe or even legal. I keep hoping that my dad will change his mind, that he'll realize this is crazy and tell my stepmom to back off. But every time I see him, he just gives me this sad, pitying look and asks if I found a place yet. It's like he's already written me off. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm standing on the edge of a cliff about to be pushed off. I'm not ready for this. I don't have the skills or the resources to live on my own. I'm scared of ending up on the streets or having to drop out of school. If anyone has been through something like this or has any advice, I'd really appreciate it. I'm running out of time and options, and I don't know where else to turn. Thanks for reading this far, and sorry for the long post. I guess I just needed to get it all out. Update. Hey, everyone. I can't believe I'm writing this update. So much has happened in the last 24 hours, and my head is still spinning. I want to thank everyone who responded to my original post with advice and support. It really helped me get through a tough night. After I posted, I was still panicking about what to do. That's when I remembered my grandma's sister, who's always been like a godmother to me. I hadn't thought of her at first because she lives pretty far away, but I was desperate and decided to give her a call. As soon as I explained the situation, she got really quiet. Then she said, "Don't you worry about a thing, sweetie. You don't need to go anywhere. I'm coming there tomorrow, and we'll sort this all out." I was confused but relieved. I tried to tell her it wasn't necessary for her to come all this way, but she insisted. She told me not to say anything to my dad or stepmom and just act normal until she got here. The next day, my stepmom was getting impatient. She kept asking if I'd found a place yet and making comments about how I needed to be out by the afternoon. I just kept my head down and said I was still looking. Around 2 p.m., the doorbell rang. My stepmom answered it, and I heard my godmother's voice. She sounded angry, which was weird because she's usually super calm. She marched into the living room where my dad and I were sitting and said, "We need to talk, all of us, now." My stepmom tried to argue, saying it was a family matter, but my godmother shut her down. "I am family," she said, "and I have something very important to tell you all." That's when she dropped the bombshell. She looked right at me and said, "Honey, this house belongs to you. Your grandmother left it to you in her will. You're the legal owner, and no one can make you leave." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My dad looked shocked, and my stepmom's face turned red. She started sputtering about how that couldn't be true, but my godmother pulled out some papers from her purse. She explained that my grandma had changed her will shortly before she died. Apparently, she knew about my dad's relationship with my stepmom. It had started before they got married, and she didn't trust her. She was worried she might try to take advantage of my dad and me, so she left the house to me as a way of protecting us. My dad was in tears asking why he hadn't been told about this. My godmother explained that it was done quickly and secretly when my grandma was on her deathbed. She said my grandma had made her promise not to say anything unless it became absolutely necessary. And now she said, looking at my stepmom, "It's necessary." My stepmom completely lost it. She started yelling about how it wasn't fair and how we had tricked her. She even tried to grab the papers from my godmother, but she pulled them away. That's when I found my voice. I stood up and told her to stop. I said, "This is my house, and I won't have you acting like this here." It felt weird to say, but also kind of good. For the first time, I felt like I had some power in this situation. My dad was still in shock, caught between me and my stepmom. I could see he was torn and confused. I felt bad for him, but I was also angry that he had gone along with her plan to kick me out. After things calmed down a bit, we all sat down to talk. My godmother explained the legal details, and it turns out I've been the owner of the house since my 18th birthday. My stepmom kept trying to argue, but there wasn't much she could say. In the end, I made a decision. I told them that I was willing to let everyone stay in the house, including my stepmom and the baby when it comes, but I had conditions. First, my stepmom had to start treating me with respect. No more criticism. No more lies to my dad about me. Second, we all had to go to family counseling to work on our relationships. And third, any major decisions about the house had to be discussed with me first. My dad agreed right away. My stepmom wasn't happy, but she didn't have much choice. It was either accept my terms or leave. It's been a few days now, and things are still tense. My stepmom barely speaks to me, but at least she's not being openly hostile anymore. My dad seems torn between guilt over what happened and relief that we're all still together. I'm still processing everything. It's weird to suddenly be the owner of a house at 19. I've got a lot to learn about property ownership and responsibilities, but I'm also feeling more secure than I have in a long time. I know we've got a long way to go before we're anything like a happy family, but at least now I know I have a place here, and no one can take that away from me. Thank you again to everyone who offered support and advice, and a huge thank you to my grandma, wherever she is, for looking out for me even after she was gone. I promise I'll do my best to take care of this house and make her proud.